What is up, my friends? Welcome to Halloween on Military Street. And I started in the first part, but I got the name right. That's what's important. Today, we are going to be celebrating cars and history and horror. And as we can see, the first car up is not horror themed at all. It's Herbie the Love Bug. And this is kind of done backwards in my editing, but I figured I'd start off with that. Mustang right there. And we're going to talk a little bit about these rum runners, rat rods. What do you guys think? Why are they called that? I'll tell you why. Because they used to run rum back in the 1920s when this stuff was illegal. And these things ran quickly, a lot quicker than the automobiles that were chasing them, the police vehicles. And they were stocked with rum inside there to get them from town to town. Excuse me, city to city. And these guys are actually what started the whole drag racing scene right here. Race car scenes. This is the beginning of it. Getting your cars fast up, making sure you can get them from area to area, making the buyer, whether it be mobster or individual, happy that they had some rum. And rum was easy to make. It always has been. It's harder to transport though, very explosive, especially in a vehicle going that fast. So these guys literally, if this tipped over, were putting their lives on the line. Look at the back of this. That would have been full of rum, and it would have been hard for the police to catch them. And if they did, maybe hard to detect it. Who knows, back in the day. Beautiful little rat rod. It's all put together. By the way, this was down in Johnston War Memorial Park, and this was in the beginning of August. Great car show. It's huge. There was a DJ there. All sorts of vehicles. I wasn't too keen on the modern cars being there, but I guess when you call it a car show, they're allowed. I was more into the hot rods and the rat rods and the weird cars. I grew up with this stuff, you know. I am a big car fan. I'm not a grease monkey. I do know how to work on cars, so don't get that wrong. But it's I've always wanted to own my own rod, whether it be a hot rod, a rat rod, or even something classic. One of my favorites is the vehicle from the horror flick Sometimes They Come Back, and I love the way that the fire spits out of that. It's a lot nice patriotic car. This one I took an exception to with the moderns because it was a Dodge. It had the Hemi inside there, and the guy did a really good job of painting military up on this car. It was for all veterans and all service members, including the POWs there. Really cool vehicle. You can see the green one over on the side of it, probably his buddies, and there's a couple more modern cars in front of that. But this one I really liked. It spoke home because, yep, I'm a veteran, and I got so many of my friends and family members that were veterans. So this did me proud to see this vehicle there, and it should do you proud to see that vehicle there, right? We shouldn't be destroying Old Glory here. She makes it so that we can all have our differences. And the soldiers and sailors, airmen and seamen and ladies and men alike have fought and lost their lives so that we can do stuff like this, have a YouTube station, speak our differences, have our differences, although one might not be right from the other, it might not be wrong either. And this flag and this car embodies all that's allowed. You can see a lot of the hot rods back there. There's a Ford, looks like a 52 coupe in the back. If you remember, that was from, I think, ZZ Top. Was the 52 Ford. It might have been a 54 at some times, but there's the coupe over there. Always loved that car. I'm gonna get up close to her. There you go. Beautiful up front. She caught me from far away. Oh, she's a Chevy. I apologize. She's not a coupe. My bad on that one. Before you grill me, I caught myself. I can see the Chevy emblem right here because that's the truck. That's not the coupe that's over there. You fool. It's a different car. Man, I'm tired. I've edited 3 of these together, so another modern one I didn't mind is a Camaro, and it had Batman on the hood there, so I had to take under the engine to check that one out. It's kind of cool, the blue feeling to that and the Batman statue. That one was neat. That engine is dirty too. If you see that thing, and I don't mean dirty, I mean that thing would kick your butt in a race. That is a dirty, dirty engine up there. Going right back to Herbie and my daughters, they really didn't know who that was, so I have to intro them. Another beautiful, bright yellow car. We're going to get back to some rods. Here is a hot rod, not a rat rod. There's a difference. Here is a rat rod. Rat rods are assembled with different stuff.
Alright. I told you in the next episode I would show you how this works, and I promised you I would. So I got the good old-fashioned magic box inside there, and I got some soldiers to throw in there, and gonna get this working. I highly doubt that this is gonna work. I would bet some very good candy that it won't. Alright, well, here we go. I'm gonna put them in there. Here we go. They're in there. So they're inside there, and it's just gonna spin around for a couple seconds, and then they'll be alive.
Beautiful red car right there, Barracuda. There's that truck that I mistakenly, and there is my Butte that I was talking about from one of my favorite movies. Sometimes they come back, minus the fire starter in the back, which I wish was back there. But I think they'd probably get in trouble in the park for using that. There's a nice rod right there, a modern one, definitely for racing. Cannot use that on the street legally. Another truck right there, really cool. There's a couple trucks coming up. And here comes one of the rat rods. Like I said, rat rods are different from hot rods. They are assembled using what you have. Even sometimes the car parts inside, the engine parts are not so much the body, but the body is definitely assembled from stuff that they had. But the engine parts too, filters, you name it. You lift that hood up, you can see sometimes they really do recycle all types of metal to use it. There's a beautiful Camaro that is a modern one. Well, I consider it modern, but it's 89. And here comes a Mustang. Nothing against the Mustangs. The older ones were cool, but that's just what I call them, so don't get upset at me. Have any of you ever seen a ghost vehicle? Just wondering. We're getting to the Halloween end of things, right? Let me know. Has anybody ever recorded a vehicle that, a boat, a car, a plane, something ghost, a train? I've heard people recording train audio. Why? Why do you guys think that stuff appears as part of the stuff? Even horses, people riding the horses. Not a vehicle, a living entity, makes more sense than the vehicles like cars and stuff showing up. But I wonder why. I wonder why they show up. But they are a huge part in the horror industry. They are in everything from Christine to sometimes they come back. Maximum Overdrive, really good horror flick. And of course, there's the the Doomsday ones, that we all likes. Mad Max. There's so many more. Doomsday. They're out there. They're all around with that stuff. There's another Camaro, a white one, convertible. There's another rat rod right there. But they're full of it. There are so many movies I could go with that. And if I...
Ow, cut it out! Ow, that hurts! Yeah, okay, it works! Stop them from doing this! I can't stop them once they started. Oh God, get us out of here, Buns! I'm out. I'm not staying. Back with this, ow!
All in all, this was a great Sunday down here at the Johnston War Memorial Park in Rhode Island. Great park, not just to check out the cars, but there's a tank down there, there's artillery down there, friendly people, soldiers, people walking in front of the camera. They knew I was recording the bums, that's why they looked in it. They tried getting themselves on television. I don't know your name, so we don't care. It's weird seeing the 90s trucks in there and the 80s trucks. Like that, to me, the 90s ones, although they're antiques, doesn't register to me as well as it did.
That's what you get, you little nummies. Play with fire, you're gonna get burned. Play with soldiers and magic. Oh, what's the matter? You couldn't take a little pew-pew to the side. Did it hurt? I hope it hurt a lot. You little gnomes. Forgot about me playing with your toys up there. You should be playing with your spell books to get me out. Oh, but that's okay. Don't. I'll have to recruit someone else, I guess. And when I recruit that someone else, you are no longer valuable to me. You are, as one would say, irreplaceable. And when I get up there, maybe we'll have some gnome pizza with a side of pineapple.